So good morning, and thanks a million for joining me on the yoga mat this morning. This week's focus is on mobility, so getting those muscles and joints and bones all moving together. When we talk about mobility in yoga, we need to kind of separate it from just focusing on flexibility. So when we talk about flexibility, which is what a lot of people come to gain in yoga, we're more so talking about lengthening the muscle fibers within the actual muscle bellies and up into the joints, which is good in itself. But if you're just constantly lengthening into muscles and not re-engaging those lovely muscle fibers, then we're just going to have these really lax and loose kind of limbs and muscles, and we're not going to have that lovely strength that we want to achieve to maintain posture, to maintain form, and just to maintain our general movement day to day. So when we talk about mobility, we're more talking about engaging and releasing the muscles around the joints. We're encouraging our natural movement. We're looking for a natural range of motion. So we're not necessarily looking to force that range. And again, in some yoga practices, you are going into quite extensive poses. In the yoga that I teach, I try to keep it within the natural range. And then if the body feels like going a little bit deeper, it's going to let you know. So I want you to be really mindful of that this morning, not forcing the poses. The nice thing with mobility is we've got a lot more control. Flexibility, we rely on props, we rely on external factors to kind of bring us into the pose often. Whereas mobility, we're very much just relying on our own muscular control. So it's a lot more difficult to go too deep, which is a good thing. So with that in mind, we're going to start in a nice, easy cross-legged seat. Sitting as tall as we can through the spine. We place the palms on the knees. Relax the shoulders back, really opening into that heart space. Actually, we'll take a few little shoulder rolls here. So as we inhale, we'll draw the shoulders up toward the ears, and as we exhale, draw the shoulder blades together down the spine. Each circle, see if we can make it a little bit larger, a little bit rounder, noticing any little bit of crunchy tissue within the shoulder joints. So we're just trying to knead it out using the movement itself. Relax the breath, softly in, softly out through the nose. Feel free to close the eyes down. And again, we're really exaggerating that movement. Noticing if we're collapsing into the spine. So keep imagining that piece of string attached to the crown of your head, drawing you tall toward the ceiling. And we're going to reverse those circles, opposite direction. Get a nice little bit of space between the shoulder blades here. So again, just easing out those shoulder joints. And you'll notice the more mobility exercises we do, the joints, the muscles will start to fatigue. So we know we are engaging. We're not just going through the motions. We're going to come to stillness here. And then we'll inhale, press the chest all the way over to the right to draw it through center, all the way over to the left. And as we exhale, tuck the chin in, we're going to round through that upper back. And we're going to continue to draw those lovely full circles. Keeping a nice deep bend to the elbows so we can get really deep into our fold. We're lengthening from the lower back. Maybe use the heels of the hands to press yourselves gently forward. Maybe close down the eyes. Again, allow the head go loose, allow the neck relax, maybe roll into the shoulders a little bit. So try and have fun with those circles. So just allow the body flow, just let it go with the flow. So there's no right or wrong here. Once the body feels good, we're getting movement, we're getting space. And particularly first thing in the morning, sometimes the body just needs that extra little kickstart to get it going. So again, just being kind, feeling that into the hip, depending on which way we have our legs crossed. We're going to meet back at center. We'll reverse the crisscross of the legs just to balance out those hips a wee bit. Hands are rested on the knees. We'll inhale, press the chest to the left, draw it through center, to the right. And as we exhale, tuck the chin in and round into that upper back. So the gaze is going forward as we inhale, lean forward, and back toward the belly as we exhale back. And again, really just allowing yourself go with the flow here. Relax the breath, relax the head, relax the neck, easing the body. Feel free to sigh the breath out if it feels better. Eventually, we're going to meet back at center. Opening the palms to the ceiling, and we begin. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and really stretch between the shoulder blades. We'll do that twice more. So a nice big stretch as we inhale, look up. And as we exhale, press forward and release. We'll do that once more. Lovely. From here, we're going to inhale the right arm up. Bend the elbow. We're going to drape the fingertips down the back of the spine and really press the back of the head into that arm. So we're getting a nice little stretch into the tricep. We're going to get the left hand and we're going to catch hold of the elbow and see if we can draw the elbow a little bit more over to the left. You can just tuck the chin here slightly, just to release the neck. So again, just getting a nice little bit of mobility into that right shoulder, into the tricep, holding it here for 3, for 2, and 1, gently release. We'll inhale the left arm up, bending through the elbow, draping the fingertips down the middle spine, pressing the head into the arm, so we're getting a stretch already. We'll inhale the right arm up, catching hold of that elbow. We're going to draw the elbow all the way over to the right. And again, we can just tuck the chin slightly. Again, just releasing into the neck and bringing that focus into the shoulder. Holding it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the grip and slowly release back to the ground. We're going to get both finger pads and we're going to rest them to the shoulder blades. And again, we'll draw those lovely big circles. This time, drawing those elbows to touch out front and those shoulder blades to touch out back. So again, just flossing through those shoulder joints, opening into the heart, engaging with those posterior muscles, and we reverse those circles opposite direction. So think about lubricating the joints, trying to create as much space and movement into those joints. And then we can relax. Going to get a little bit into the spine here. So we're going to straighten the legs out in front. Get nice and comfortable in the sit bones, adjust them if you need. Draw the toes toward the face, sitting as tall as we can in the spine. We're going to hug the right knee in until the foot is in line with the left. And then we'll shift those sit bones forward to meet the heel. So we're maintaining that lovely length. Crossing the right leg over the left, really close to the body. We're going to extend the left arm forward, wrap it around the right leg, and hug that leg really tight into the body. If you've been practicing, you want to go deeper in the hip, you can bend the left knee, tuck that left heel close to the sit bone, but just make sure that right sit bone is grounded firmly on the mat. We're going to inhale the right arm up, reach. And as we exhale, gently twist to the right. We'll place the hand on the ground behind us, really close to the lower back. As we inhale, press the hand into the ground, lengthen tall through the spine. And as we exhale, gently twist. Looking over the right shoulder. So we're twisting through a lengthened spine. So make sure we're growing that spine tall on the inhale. And as we exhale, we're starting that twist in the lower back. We're moving it into the rib cage, into the chest, and all the way out through to the neck. So a lovely full body twist here. Mobilizing the core, both with the twist and with the breath. So taking a few nice deep belly breaths here. Drawing that energy deep down. And as you exhale, see if you can release a little bit more. We'll take one more breath on this side. And then slowly inhale back to center. Little twist to the left, just to release. And then back to center again. We can stay here if we wish, or we can come back into easy cross-legged with the right foot on top. If we're staying here in our little pretzel shape, we're going to walk those feet as far out to either side as we can and try to get those knees to stack as closely as we can. And only if it feels comfortable, it's quite deep in the hips, so otherwise come back into your easy cross-legged with the right foot on top. We can stay here, just shifting the hips a little bit side to side, easing into that soft tissue. And if we want to go deeper, we're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up. As we exhale, we're going to reach forward through the fingertips. So almost like somebody's pulling you forward by the wrist. Reach, 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 reach. And then we're going to rest those hands to the ground. Inhale, lengthen forward through the spine. And as we exhale, gently fold. Release the head, release the neck. And don't get too caught up with how far forward you're folding. You might be sitting right upright, whatever is right for your body this morning. See if we can press the ground away and really draw those sit bones back.
Think about lengthening through the spine on the inhale and folding a little bit deeper on the exhale. Taking one more breath on this side. Gently tuck the chin in. We walk those hands back toward the body. We're going to place that right foot out in front. We place that left foot out to meet it. So feet are really wide apart, wider than hip width distance. Hands come behind us, fingertips point back, pressing the hands into the ground, opening the heart. We'll inhale here. And as we exhale, drop both knees over to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Inhale back through center. Exhale, drop the knees to the left as we look over the right shoulder. And continue with your own breath. Gently windscreen, wiping those knees side to side. Making sure the feet are wide enough apart that the opposite knee has space to fall behind the opposite foot. And we're trying to get those knees as close to the ground, if not to the ground. So we're both internally and externally rotating into those hip joints. And again, notice if it's a wee bit easier on one side than the other. It's a really nice way of just keying in with the body. If you want a little bit more core engagement, next time we come to center, we'll bring the hands to heart. Continuing, same movement. Still looking over the opposite shoulder, mobilizing into that upper spine. We're just taking the support of the hands out of the movement. Nice and slow. You might notice the body is coming forward. You can always press the heels into the ground, putting on the brakes a little bit here. Eventually, meeting back at center, we can shift our way back onto the mat. We're going to straighten those legs out in front once more. Drawing the toes toward the face, sitting as tall as we can. We'll hug the left knee in until the foot's in line with the right knee. And then shift those sit bones forward to meet the heel. So again, maintaining that lovely length in the spine. We're going to cross the left leg over the right. Extend the right arm forward. We'll wrap it around the left leg and we'll really hug that leg into the body. Feel that release in the glutes. If you want to go deeper, bend the right knee. Tuck that heel close to the sit bone, but again, making sure both sit bones are really solid on the ground. Inhale the left arm up. And as we exhale, gently twist to the left, we place that left hand on the ground behind us, really close to the lower back. As we inhale, press the hand into the ground, sit tall. And as we exhale, gently twist. Looking over the left shoulder, lengthening tall on the inhale, twisting, releasing, opening on the exhale. Continuing to hug that left leg into the body. Drawing the belly in, creating as much space to hug that leg in. One more breath. Inhale gently back to center, a little twist to the right just to release, and then back to center again. So if we're here with the heel tucked in, we might try walking those feet apart, seeing if we can get those knees to stack on top of each other as close as we can. Otherwise, coming into easy cross-legged with the left leg out front. Either way, we're drawing the toes toward the knees. And again, just getting nice and comfortable in the sit bones here, maybe rocking into the hips a little bit, easing into that soft tissue. That might be enough. If you want to go deeper, we'll inhale, both arms out, reaching up. And as we exhale, gently fold. Folding from the lower back, reaching as far as we can go. And then we'll rest those hands down to the ground, wherever they land. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, fold. Relax the head, relax the neck. Maybe give a little shake to remind it to relax. And just notice if we're folding a little bit deeper on one side than the other. So just noticing if one hip's a little bit tighter. And a nice little bit of space into the lower spine here as well. Keep pressing the ground away, drawing those sit bones back. We'll take one more breath. And then gently tuck the chin in. Slowly walk those hands back toward the body. We'll place that left foot out in front. We'll place the right foot out to meet it. And from here, we're going to come to lie down onto our mats. Just make sure you do have your strap and your block there beside you if you're using it. And again, we can improvise if not. So lying slowly back onto the ground. Knees are bent, feet are flat to start with. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest, give it a nice little squeeze. Straighten that left leg down to the ground and really press the back of that left leg into the ground. So notice if the left knee is quite bent, chances are that left hip flexor might be a wee bit tight this morning. You can even use that left hand to press the leg down and just see if you can get a little bit more space. Right hand is on the knee, left hand is on the left hip. We'll draw a few little circles into that right hip. Starting nice and slow, keeping the lower back pressed solid into the ground. Or maybe moving the fingertips to rest in the knee, so those circles get a little bit larger. Again, either direction, we'll end up doing both. If that feels stable and if we feel comfortable, we can take that right hand away and see if we can draw those circles a little bit larger and a little bit rounder. Bringing the whole length of that right leg into the movement. So we're straightening the leg, pressing away through the heel, drawing the knee across the body into the chest, opening nice and wide into that hip space. So just really exploring that right hip. Try to relax the shoulders. Notice if we've started to bunch into the chest. So again, melting out the rest of the body so we can focus all that energy into that right hip joint. We're going to reverse those circles, opposite direction. And again, notice if there is any little weakness in the hip, you're going to find it in these mobilizing exercises. So we do have to engage with those muscles to get that movement. And again, if you do need that right hand, just to help support that movement a little bit until it becomes a wee bit stronger, listening to your body. So there should be no pain here, no tension. We're releasing, we're opening, we're creating space, we're creating energy. Eventually, we're going to meet back at center, hugging that right knee in. Left hand is on the shin, right arm extends out in line with the shoulder palm down. We'll shift the hips a wee bit to the right and then draw the right leg across the body to the left. Left hand rests on the outer thigh. Gaze is over the fingertips. That right shoulder is literally glued to the ground. Notice if we're not fully in the twist, you can just shift those hips slightly more to the right until ideally that right hip is stacked on top of the left. Both hip bones are centered down the midline of the mat. Taking a few nice deep belly breaths here, using that breath to mobilize the core. If we want a bonus release into that left hip and quad, we can always bend the left knee, walk that left foot as far out to the right as we possibly can. That might be enough. If you feel like going deeper, you can always get the right hand, catch hold of the foot, or wrap a strap around the front of the foot, but still hugging that right shoulder to the ground and still drawing that right leg across the body. Nice full belly breath. If we have caught hold of the foot, either with the hand or the strap, we can press the foot into the hand or strap and just really feel that activation and release. Relax the breath. One more breath on this side. Straightening the right arm out, straightening that left leg back to center, and then slowly inhale back to the ground. We're going to hug that right knee into the chest. We're going to bend the left knee and we're going to place the right foot just above the left knee, coming into our figure four. Inhale the left foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling, lower back is connected. We can either interlock the fingers around the back of the hamstring, or if we find the lower back's coming off the ground, or having to really hyper reach here to get that grip, use your strap, use a pillowcase, use a towel. We're going to wrap it around the back of that left hamstring so we can really ease the shoulder blades together, connecting the whole length of the spine to the ground. As we exhale, we're drawing the left knee a little bit closer toward the face as we press that right knee away from the body. So really feeling that into the right hip. We're going to inhale, straighten the left leg up toward the ceiling and point through the toes. And as we exhale, draw the toes toward the face. Inhale, pointing. Exhale, flexing. Continuing with your own breath, still working into that right hip, but just getting a little mobility into the hamstrings and into those ankles. And again, if it's too much in the hamstring, feel free to soften the left knee or bend the knee totally. We can still work into that ankle mobilization, exaggerate the movement. We're going to draw a few nice big circles to the right. Relax the chest, melt those shoulders to the ground, still hugging the left knee in. And again, just try to create as big of a circle as we can. Nice and smooth. We're going to reverse those circles and it's really slow. So you might be tempted to make really quick circles here, but we're not actually getting into that full movement. We're not getting into all parts of the joints. And it's actually a lot more engaged. As we slow the movement down, we're having to really engage into those little muscles. Feeling that all the way into the lower leg, right up to the knee. And we can relax here. We're going to bend the left knee, allow the foot drop and release to the ground. We can release the strap off to the side. We're going to cross the right leg fully over left. Keeping that lower back on the ground, belly drawn in, we're going to hug the knees into the chest. We can either interlock the fingers around the right knee, the left knee, maybe the left shin, or we can catch hold of the front of the ankles and work those heels away from each other. Relax the shoulders, soft at the elbows. As we draw the belly in, see if we can hug the knees a little bit closer toward the chest, feeling that into the right hip. If we want a little bit of upper core, we're going to inhale, lift the chest. So not the head, not the neck. They'll just come automatically. And we're going to really draw those shoulders back, hugging the knees to the chest. Nice open throat here. So again, no stress. We're not tucking the chin, just a nice neutral neck. We're going to hold it here, drawing those knees in for 3. For 2. And 1, gently release the head, gently release the grip, release those feet. We're going to uncross the legs. A reset. We're going to hug that left knee into the chest. Straighten that right leg, really pressing the back of the leg to the ground. Left hand is on the knee, right hand is rested on that right hip. And again, either direction, we're going to draw a few little circles into that left hip this time. Again, noticing how that feels comparing to the other side. Is it a little bit easier? Is it a little bit more restricted? Fingertips come to the knee, allow those circles get a little bit larger. And again, only if it feels stable to take that left hand away, we can place the left hand on the ground and we can draw those circles as large and as full as we possibly can. And just notice how that feels comparing to the other side. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath, just softening into the body here, nice and easy. Again, slow those circles right down. We're going to reverse the circles opposite direction, nice and slow. And again, just even visualizing the muscles, the bones working around each other in that left hip, trying to really allow them glide around each other. Eventually, we're going to hug the left knee back into the chest, give it a nice little squeeze. We're going to bend the right knee, place the foot flat to the ground, resting the left ankle just above the right knee, drawing that left toe toward the knee. Keep that lower leg active. We're going to press the left knee away from the body. We can stay here if that's enough. Otherwise, we lift the right foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling, and either interlock fingers or strap around the back of that right hamstring. So again, we're threading that left hand into that little triangular space and we're interlocking behind the hamstring. If they don't interlock, definitely use the strap. Allow those shoulder blades to melt to the ground. As we exhale, we're drawing the right knee a little bit closer toward the face as we press the left knee away from the body. And we shouldn't be feeling this into the left knee joint. So that's where we want to keep that lower leg super engaged. Staying here, working into the hip, we're going to inhale, straighten the right leg up toward the ceiling and really point through the toes. And as we exhale, draw the toes toward the face. So we're inhaling, pointing. And we're exhaling, flexing, and continue with your own breath. So just really looking after our foundations here. And we will feel this into the shin muscle, the tibialis, we'll feel it into the calf muscle. We'll feel it all the way up to that knee joint, depending on how much flex and how much extension we're given. We'll just enjoy that movement. We're going to create a nice few big circles to the right. Again, slow the movement right down, noticing how that feels. Comparing to the other side. So again, if there's any little imbalances on our foundations, chances are we're going to find those imbalances right up through the chain, right up into the hips, maybe even into the spine, the shoulders. So again, really important that we notice those imbalances before they become something that's going to cause any other sorts of ructions or issues within the body. We're going to reverse those circles opposite direction. Really slow it down. Try to get those circles a little bit larger, a little bit rounder if we can. And again, you have full control of the movement. So just going as deep as feels right for your body this morning. We can relax here. We'll bend the right knee, release the grip, release that right foot to the ground. We're going to cross the left leg fully over right. Nice, easy crisscross. Pressing the lower back into the ground, drawing the belly in. We're going to hug those knees into the chest, either interlocking fingers around the left knee, the right shin, or maybe catch hold of the front of the ankles and work those heels away from each other, melting the shoulders to the ground, focusing on hugging those knees to the chest, but keep that lower back stable. If we want a little bit of upper core, we're going to inhale, lift the chest, so the head will automatically come off the ground, but there's absolutely no stress in the neck here. Keep hugging the knees to the chest, so not the chin to the knees, knees to the chest all the time. Feeling that into the left hip. If we have caught hold of the front of the ankle, see if you can draw those feet away from each other and just really feel that release for 3. For 2. And 1, gently release the head, gently release the feet. We're going to uncross the legs. Lovely. We're going to do a little bit into our bridge this morning. So feet are flat, knees are together, feet are together, hands are to the ground, fingertips brush at the backs of the heels. We're going to press the feet into the ground, and on an inhale, gently peel the lower, middle, upper back off the ground. As we lift those hips high toward the ceiling, we're going to walk the shoulder blades together underneath the upper back. Pressing hands, arms, shoulders into the ground, pressing feet into the ground. I want you to imagine someone's about to drop something on your belly and you're trying to resist, so really switching those tummy muscles on. We're going to inhale, straighten the right leg out, knees are together. As we exhale, hug the right knee toward the face. Inhale, straighten the right leg up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, knee to face. Inhale, straighten the right leg out in front, knees are together. And as we exhale, rest that right foot to the ground. Left side, inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, draw the knee toward the face. Keep the hips up, inhale, straighten that left leg toward the ceiling. Exhale, knee to face. Inhale, straighten the left leg out, knees are together. Exhale, left foot to the ground. You can choose to stay here for the next breath or take a little breather. Returning to the ground, taking a nice deep inhale. Exhale, release. Back up into our bridge, nice and easy. We're going to go for a second round. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten the right leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten that right leg out. Exhale, return the foot to the ground. Left side, inhale, straighten the left leg out. Exhale, knee to face. Inhale, straighten the left leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, knee to face. Inhale, straighten the left leg out. Exhale, return. We're going to do one more round. So again, you can challenge yourself by staying in your bridge. You can take a little breather for a moment. When you're ready, returning to your bridge if you're not there already. And together. Inhale, straighten the right leg out. Exhale, knee to face. Inhale, straighten that right leg up. Exhale, knee to face. Inhale, straighten the right leg out, knees together. Exhale, return the foot to the ground. Last side. Inhale, straighten the left leg out. Exhale, knee to face. Inhale, straighten the left leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, knee to face. Inhale, straighten the left leg out. Exhale, return the foot to the ground. And gently, little by little, we're going to return all the way to the mat. We're going to bring those feet about the width of the mat apart. Allow the knees fall to touch. Just get a nice little release into the hip, into the pelvis here. Connecting the whole length of the spine to the ground. We're going to open the arms into cactus arms, making sure those hands are rested to the ground. Inhale, center. As we exhale, drop both knees over to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Inhale back through center. Exhale, knees drop to the left as we look over the right shoulder. And continue with your own breath. Gently windscreen wiping those knees side to side. Again, like we did when we were seated, making sure the feet are wide enough apart that the opposite knee has space to fall behind the opposite foot. And we shouldn't need to move the feet here at all. Really pressing those knees down toward the ground as far as we can. Each time we come to center, see if we can massage the lower back and glutes using the ground beneath us. Relax the breath. We're looking over the opposite shoulder. So again, we're getting a little spinal rotation, a little release into the neck. And again, you could keep doing this all day. Such a nice release for the body. Into those hips, into the spine. Feeling that into the side waist. Eventually, we will meet back at center. Hugging the knees into the body, into the armpits, and just make a few little circles, figure eights into that lower back. Nice and opening the hips, opening the heart, and just massaging out that lower spine. Relax the breath. Bringing that breath deep down into the belly. Coming to stillness here. We're going to hug the knees together, crisscross of the ankles. Options to make your way any way to seat, or we can rock and roll. Just the once, we're going to bring ourselves forward into a nice strong seat at the front of the mat. Straight away, we bring those hands out in front. Shifting the body weight forward, we're going to step back onto the knees and make our way into a lovely strong tabletop in the middle of our mat. Shoulders over, elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward, knees hip width distance apart, hips are stacked over knees. Notice if the belly's collapsed, we're going to draw the belly button in and really engage those lower back muscles. Toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels good. Inhale, draw the chest forward as we take the gaze up and arch to the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back toward the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, tuck the chin to the chest, and continue with your own breath. Some lovely, generous cat-cow curls. Feel free to close the eyes down and just really engage with the movement. Relax the breath. Just allow ourselves go with the flow here. So there's no real right or wrong. Again, once we're feeling that movement, that space, that freedom. So really try to relax into the movement, getting rid of any rigidity or stiffness within the body. Eventually, we'll meet back in our tabletop. Keeping those hands where they're at, we're going to straighten the right leg behind us. We're going to bend the right knee, press the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Again, making sure that belly hasn't collapsed, so really strong in the core. We're going to rotate the right hip open. I want you to imagine there's a box out to your right, and we're going to bring that knee and foot all the way over and around. So we're going to inhale, draw the right knee all the way over, all the way to touch that right elbow. And as we exhale, we're going to press it back to the start. Sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling, rotate the hip. And continue with your own breath. So nice full circular movements. Trying to get that lift as high as we can and maintain it for as long as we can. So we're really getting into that hip joint. Noticing if we're collapsing into the arms, actively pressing the ground away. So we're staying nice and strong in the arms and into the shoulders. We're going to meet with the sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling, and we're going to reverse that movement. So we're going to draw that right knee toward the elbow, lift it out, open. So almost imagine yourself going in reverse. A little bit trickier when the mind's kind of telling us, wait a minute. So again, just exploring that movement. Visualizing that box. We do one more nice big hip circle. And then we meet with the sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. We're going to land on the ball of the right foot and gently press away through the heel for 3. For 2. And 1. Right knee comes in to meet left. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So again, that box is out to our left this time. Straighten the left leg back, bend the left knee, press the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Feel that hamstring glute activate. We're going to rotate the left hip open. Inhale, left knee all the way over that box. We're going to touch it to the elbow. And as we exhale, draw back to the start and continue with your own breath. We can keep the neck neutral. So we're just looking at that space between the hands. We're not looking forward. We're not looking back. All that energy focus into the left hip. And again, noticing how that feels comparing to the other side. So I'm noticing an extra little burn on this side this morning. So again, it's a really good way of just tuning in to where those imbalances lie. Trying to iron those imbalances out using the movement. And again, it's maybe not something we're going to fix in one yoga class, but even becoming aware of the imbalance is a start. We're going to meet with sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling, and then we're going to reverse that movement. So again, knee is coming to elbow, we're drawing it out wide, lifting it backwards over that box. So again, a little bit of visualization, a little bit of proprioception, noticing where our body is in space in relation to the world around us. Consciously moving. Relax the breath. We'll take one more. We're going to meet with the sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. And then we're going to land on the ball of the left foot. Gently press away through the heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Left knee comes back in to meet right. From here, just going to get a little bit of release into the wrists. So we're going to sit back onto the heels. We're going to draw the fingertips toward the ground and just rest the backs of the hands onto the ground. And again, we're just pressing the backs of the hands into the ground. So again, just a little release into those wrists. And then we can splay the hands out to the right, out to the left. So splay the hands outward, just working into a few little muscles in those wrists. And then we can splay the hands inward. And again, just sitting back. Okay, coming all the way back up into our tabletop. From here, we're going to bring the knees and the feet together to touch. We're going to work a little bit into our clamshell. So toes are touching, and we're going to keep them touching. We're going to keep that lower back neutral, nice and stable. We're not moving the lower back, we're just moving the hips. Inhale the right knee all the way out to the side, as high as we can go without moving that lower back. Exhale, draw it back to center. Inhale, left knee out and up. Exhale, returning. Continue with your own breath. So again, working into hip flexors, glutes, abductors here. Fully engaged both as we lift the knee out and as we draw it back to center. So we're not losing that engagement. Noticing if one knee comes out a little bit more on one side than the other. And again, we're not rotating that spine, that lower back remains neutral. Imagining maybe a book placed on your lower back and you don't want it to fall off. Again, just working into that hip space here. So this is a really good way of tuning into where those glutes are at, but it's also a really good way of trying to re-engage if they're not quite engaging. Slowly, slowly. We'll do one more on both sides. Meeting back at center. We're going to bring the knees about hip width distance apart. Gently sit back toward the heels. We're going to walk those hands forward, out in front, sinking the body to the ground, melting the head between the arms until it either touches the ground or we can rest it onto a block or a towel or a cushion. Coming up onto the finger pads, we're going to press the ground away and try to draw those sit bones back a little bit closer toward the heels, as much as we can. Taking a few nice full body breaths here. So as we inhale, draw the breath deep down into the belly. Feel the rib cage expand, feel the diaphragm lift, feel that space between the shoulders. And as you exhale, just allow the body melt toward the ground. Taking one more breath here. We're going to look back toward the toes. Gently shift the body weight forward until we can tuck both toes under. And again, sit back till we feel a nice little stretch into the arches of the feet. Maybe even wriggle through the toes here, just activating the bottom of our feet. Pressing hands and feet into the ground. We're going to gently lift the knees off the mat, press the hips as high as we can toward the ceiling and slowly lower those heels down toward the ground, as far as we can go without forcing. Pressing the ground away, try to draw the chest a little bit closer toward the mat, feeling that space into the spine. Lift the hips, noticing where those hamstrings are at, maybe gently walking out the feet, allowing opposite heels melt softly toward the ground. Lifting from the hips. Feeling that space in the lower back. Looking forward between the hands, we're going to walk our way to the front of the mat, coming through a lovely wide-legged forward fold. We're going to hold on to opposite elbows, take a nice deep bend to the knees and just allow the body relax down onto the legs. So again, just feeling that lovely space into the lower back, maybe shifting the weight side to side. Relax the head, relax the neck. Release the fingertips to the ground. We're going to come to stillness and slowly roll our way all the way up to stand. And comes up last. Lovely. Take a little drink here if you need. We're going to go through our final flow practice this morning. So when you're ready, we're going to meet at the front of the mat. Feet nicely grounded, about hip width distance apart, hands to heart. We have options here. We are going to do a little bit of balance. So if you do need the wall or a chair for this one, please take it. We're going to inhale that right knee out in front and lift it as high as we can. As we exhale, we're going to open the right hip out to the side. Inhale, lift that right foot behind us. And as we exhale, we're going to press that right foot all the way over to the left. Inhale, bring that right knee all the way back to the front. And as we exhale, rest the right foot down. We're going to do the same on the left side. And again, do use that extra little prop if you need help with the balance. Inhale, we're going to lift that left knee out in front. Exhale, open the left hip wide. Inhale, pick that left foot up. As we exhale, press the left foot all the way over to the right. Inhale, left knee all the way back out in front. And as we exhale, release that left foot to the ground. That's a really nice one to do just in your own time. And again, you can use the wall. Don't be afraid to use the wall and just work into mobilizing that joint from stand. Hands to heart, relax the shoulders, draw the belly in. We're going to lengthen tall through the crown of the head, grounding all toes into the mat. So really spreading through the toes, rooting our foundation. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, right hand stays grounded. We inhale the left arm up and open the heart. As we exhale, we're going to rest that left forearm onto the ground in front or as close as we can. Inhale, left arm up and open the heart, gaze follows up. Exhale, rest that left forearm to the ground. Last one, inhale, left arm up and open. This time as we exhale, we're going to rest the left hand to the outside of that foot. Dropping the right heel down, engage the core, we'll make our way up into our warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down, softening into that left knee. Left knee points forward, heel is bisecting the arch of the back foot. We're going to inhale, lengthen, draw the belly in. And as we exhale, sink into those hips. Cartwheeling both hands down either side of the left foot, coming onto the ball of the right. We rest the right knee down. Cushion it if you need. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we sink into the hip. Try to keep that left knee stacked over the heel. We're going to open those arms into cactus arms. And again, if you need to shift that right knee back until you feel that release into the hip, take your time here. Finding a point out in front to fix your gaze. We're going to inhale, straighten the left leg, draw the toes toward the face, and touch the fingertips down either to the ground to 2 blocks, or we can just rest the hand on the leg. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the arms, cactus lunge. Inhale, lengthen forward, touch the fingers down, toe toward the face. Exhale, bend the left knee, cactus lunge, and continue with your own breath. Gaze is forward all the time, so we're encouraging that space into the front of the body, noticing as we look down how we compress into the chest. We're pressing that left heel into the ground all the time, keeping that hamstring nice and active, so we're a lot less likely to overstretch. And again, do cushion that right knee if you need. Last one. We're going to meet in our cactus, framing that left foot with both hands, coming off the right knee. We're going to walk those finger pads about half a foot out in front, gently shift the body weight forward until we can lift that right heel high toward the ceiling. Again, we can stay here, hands either on the ground or on the block, on a chair, maybe on a table or the wall. We're going to bend the right knee and we're going to open that hip to the right side of the room, pressing the sole of the right foot out to the left. See if we can lift the knee a little bit higher, holding it for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale that right foot down to meet left, and as we exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, left hand stays grounded. That knee can be on or off the ground. Inhale, right arm up and open the heart, gaze is up. As we exhale, we're going to rest that right forearm to the ground out front, or as close as we can. Inhale, right arm up and open the heart. Exhale, forearm to the ground. Last one, inhale, right arm up and open. Exhale, right hand back to the ground. Dropping that left heel down, engage the core. We'll make our way into our warrior on the other side. Opening the arms, palms face down. We're softening into the right knee, making sure the knee is pointed forward and not collapsing to the left. Inhale, draw the belly in. Exhale, sink into those hips. Cartwheeling both hands down either side of the right foot, coming onto the ball of the left. We'll soften the left knee to the ground. Cushion it if you need, even roll up a corner of your mat. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. And as we exhale, hands to heart, we're going to sink into that hip. Right knee stays stacked over the ankle. We're going to open those arms into cactus, drawing the belly in. Keeping that gaze fixed out in front. We're going to inhale, straighten the right leg. Draw the toes toward the face as we touch those fingertips down. Exhale, then the right knee, open the arms, cactus lunge, and continue with your own breath. Pressing that right heel firmly into the ground. And don't overexert that right hamstring. So often if the hips are really tight, the pelvis can be slightly tilted. It can be pulling on the hamstring. And so what feels like a tight muscle can often already be over-lengthened. So the last thing we want to do is stretch even deeper into that. So keep a softness to that right knee if you're just not too sure this morning. Last one. We're going to meet in our cactus lunge. Framing the right foot with both hands coming off the left knee. We'll walk those finger pads about half a foot out in front. Gently shifting the body weight forward to lift that left heel up toward the ceiling. Again, finger pads connected to the ground, to the blocks, to a table, chair, wall. We're going to bend the left knee. See if we can open that hip to the left side. And notice if it's a wee bit trickier on one side and the other. Pressing the sole of the foot to the right. We're going to lift that left knee high for 3. For 2. And 1. Release the left foot down to the ground. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Second round when you're ready. Meeting at the front of the mat, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart. Shoulders relaxed, gaze out front. Find that point out in front to fix your gaze. Inhale, we're going to lift that right knee out in front. Exhale, we're going to open that right hip outwards. Inhale, lift the right foot up behind. As we exhale, press the sole of the right foot all the way to the left. Inhale, bring that right knee all the way out in front. As we exhale, we're going to soften the left knee. We're going to step back on to the ball of that right foot with as much control as we can. We're going to frame the left foot with both hands. Right hand stays on the ground. We'll inhale the left arm up and open the heart. Exhale, left forearm rests to the ground. Inhale, left arm up and open, gaze follows up. Exhale, left forearm to the ground. Last one, inhale, left arm up and open. This time as we exhale, left hand rests outside that left foot. Dropping the right heel down, engage the core up into our warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down, softening into the left knee. Inhale, straighten the left leg, arms together overhead, gaze goes up. Exhale, bend the left knee, warrior lunge. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, warrior lunge. Last one. Meeting in our warrior, we're going to cartwheel both hands down either side of the left foot, coming on to the ball of the right. Right knee on or off the ground, your choice. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we soften into the hip, releasing that right knee to the ground if it's not there already. Opening the arms into our cactus, gazes forward. Inhale, straighten the left leg, draw the toes toward the face, touch the fingers down. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the arms, cactus lunge. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen forward. Nice mindful movement. So we're not bouncing into the muscles or joints. You have full control of how deep you go. We're going to meet in our cactus lunge. Framing the left foot with both hands. We come off the right knee. Walking those finger pads, half a foot out in front. We'll shift the body weight forward, lifting that right heel. We're going to bend the right knee, open the hip, hold it here, lifting for 3. For 2. And 1. Exhale, release the right foot down to meet left and gently fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Last and final side, again, meeting at the front of the mat, feet nicely grounded. Hands to heart. Relax the shoulders, find our drishti point, our point of focus out in front. Grounding that right foot. We're going to inhale, lift the left knee out in front. As we exhale, open that left hip, keep the knee high. Inhale, lift the left foot behind. And as we exhale, we're going to press the sole of the left foot all the way out to the right. Inhale, bringing that left knee all the way back out in front. As we exhale, soften the right knee. We're going to step back onto the ball of the left foot. Nice high lunge. Take your time. Framing the right foot with both hands. Left hand is on the ground. We're going to inhale the right arm up and open the heart. Exhale, right forearm to the ground in front. Inhale, right arm up and open, gaze follows up. Exhale, right forearm to the ground. Last one, inhale, right arm up and open. This time as we exhale, right hand to the ground beside the foot. We're going to drop the left heel down, engage the core up into our warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down, softening into that right hip. Relax the shoulders, draw the belly in. Following the right middle finger with the gaze, we're going to inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the right knee, warrior lunge. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, warrior lunge. Last one. Meeting in our warrior, we'll cartwheel both hands down either side of the right foot, coming onto the ball of the left. Left knee on or off the ground. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we sink into the hips. We're going to gently release that left knee to the ground. Opening the arms into our cactus arms. Gaze is forward all the time, right heel pressed into the ground. Inhale, straighten the right leg, draw the toes toward the face, touch the fingertips down. Exhale, bend the right knee, open the arms, cactus lunge. Inhale, lengthen forward, keep drawing the belly in, nice and strong. Exhale, cactus lunge. Last one. Framing the right foot with both hands coming off the left knee. We walk those finger pads gently out in front, shifting the body weight forward until we can lift that left heel high toward the ceiling. We'll bend the left knee, see if we can open the hip to the left side of the room. Relax the head, relax the neck, holding it for 3, for 2, and 1. Bringing that left foot down to meet right. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up, palms together. Last little flow. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Lightly stepping or jumping back to plank, your choice. If you're jumping, we're landing as lightly as we can. From plank, exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows tucked in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground as we lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press the ground away, lift the hips. Downward dog. And just gently walk it out in our downward dog. So again, taking any movement that feels good within the body. It doesn't have to be downward dog. Any variation on our downward dog, maybe rocking the hips side to side, maybe looking out underneath opposite armpits, whatever feels good, and just release the breath. Relax the head, relax the neck, softening the body. And eventually you're coming to stillness. We're going to release down onto the knees, bringing those knees nice and wide apart, bringing those big toes to touch. We're going to sit all the way back onto the heels. Making a little pillow by putting one hand or one fist on top of the other and just gently resting the forehead here. Coming into a nice little relaxed child's pose to finish this morning. Maybe rock the hips a wee bit side to side, releasing any tension in the lower body, in the back, in the glutes, in the hips. Maybe rock the head a little bit side to side, massaging out the forehead, releasing into the neck, the upper back. Relax the breath. Each time allowing our chest, our belly melt a little bit closer toward the ground. And eventually just come into stillness here. Finding our breath. Drawing it as deep down into the belly. Feeling it into the rib cage, feeling it into the diaphragm, the chest. And as you exhale, just sigh it out, release. And let it go. And take one more breath to your own count. Nice full body breath. When you're ready, we're going to press the hands into the ground, gently tuck the chin to the chest, and slowly walk those hands back toward the knees until we're sitting all the way back up onto the heels, and we can walk those knees together. We can finish our practice here, sitting back on the heels, or we can come back into easy cross-legged or any other seat that feels better for you this morning. So just once you're in a nice comfortable seat, you can sit up on the couch if it feels good. Wherever we are, we're coming back to that lovely long spine, that strong core, that open heart. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling and we'll finish just like we started. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out and let it go. And we'll do that twice more. Gently bring the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your morning to come to the mat, to look after yourself, to create some lovely energy, some great strength and release, and hopefully take that with you into the day and into the rest of the week ahead. And thank you for sharing your practice and your energy with me. Namaste.